It's Kiss right here on your Classic Metal Show with Unholy. And as you know, Chris, Gene has gotten himself into some hot water this week.
Well, apparently. I bet he doesn't care.
No, why would he care? This guy's got $500 million. He's got a successful career. He's, still got Kiss. He's got the new ventures. As he said, they're financing movies. Why does this guy care?
Because same reason the guy that he was sort of commenting about choked himself out, because his feelings were hurt, man.
Right. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hail and kill, boys. How about a little freeway kiss later on when you got a moment?
You got the CMS phone number on speed dial there, motorhome?
Yeah, stop calling!
Yes, I absolutely do. And, okay, I will, Chris.
And there he goes. All right. Well, anyway, Kiss rocker Gene Simmons not only embraced assimilation and the importance of English for immigrants to succeed, he gave a textbook example how to successfully and forcibly do so on a hostile turf.
Okay.
He did so with no apologies and plenty of compassion. Here we go with, again, this goes back to with no apologies.
Why should he have any apologies? Why should he give a fuck if the guy at the Huffington Post likes what he has to say?
But the thing is that's the culture we live in. Everybody needs to be apologetic for everything they think and say.
Yeah, except me, and except Anthony Cumia, and except you, and except Gene.
Yeah.
We're the four. We ain't apologizing about shit.
In an entertainment interview, Simmons said he was given all the advantages of native-born children after coming to the country when he was 8 years old of age. And he said it was astonishing compared to other nations. Why? Because he learned goddamn English.
Right.
And he embraced American melting pot instead of separating himself in a salad bowl.
Yeah.
I'm actually saying the things that needs to be said because the politically correct climate is bullshit, Simmons says. You don't want to upset anybody about saying learn to speak goddamn English.
Yeah.
He said immigrants must agree to one culture that we all can communicate with and then go off and speak whatever you want to talk when you want to talk.
Okay.
In America, let's see here. I'm trying to skip through some of this because...
I don't know this.
Let's see here. More important than the message against the political correctness, which Simmons said only prevents immigrants from succeeding, was how he did not back down from liberal host Ricky Calamari. He even called him out on his bias and his projection and successfully used Arianna Huffington's life experiences to hammer home his point to the host, who was left speechless and stumbling for words.
Okay.
When Calamari said Simmons was treading down a dangerous path, Simmons did not relent. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm actually saying that the things that needs to be said because the politically correct climate is bullshit. You don't want to upset anybody these days. He said he said he was for the philosophy of dress British, think Yiddish. When in Rome's do what the Romans do. We already covered that. Let's see here. Let's see, there's more to this. When the host asked Simmons if he was saying that immigrants who do not learn English are lazy, Simmons called him out, saying he had never said such a thing. Speak any language you damn well please, Simmons said. You must learn English as a prerequisite if you want to have access to wealth or an education. Simmons said if he only wanted to learn about Israeli culture and speak Yiddish, he would have not been successful.
Right.
The more you learn to speak English and the more you learn about American history, the more of an advantage you will have in this culture. There is no other way. When Calamari asked if immigrants would be offended by Simmons' bluntness, here we go again. There's the key word, Chris. Mm-hmm. Offended.
Yeah.
By Simmons' bluntness, he pointed out that Arianna Huffington couldn't speak a word of this language. She learned the language, she educated herself, and she got $800 million for the Huffington Post. I didn't realize it was that high.
$800 million.
800 millions.
Wow.
You'll get the money. And Calamari went speechless. So there you go.
Nice.
Simmons then said, "You betcha I'm comfortable with saying the less people say wasop
okay.
in a corporate environment, the more they will." Let's see here. I got to say this again. Simmons then said, "You betcha I'm comfortable with saying the less people say what's up in a corporate environment, the more they will get ahead." He said if you spoke like a Hasidic Jew in a corporate setting, you would not be successful.
Right.
I am on the side of you winning, he said, before noting that political correctness and pragmatism and only sends the country back to the Tower of Babel with a complete chaos. When Calamari sheepishly said Simmons was not wrong in his assessment, Simmons said not wrong means that Calamari was agreeing with me. When Calamari said he was not, Simmons told him he needed to say what you mean and mean what you say and stop playing semantics.
Sounds like you.
That's exactly what I said. I think I even have a bumper that says there's no mistaking what I mean by what I say.
That's right.
After Calamari said Simmons was referencing black culture and years of racism.
Oh, now it's racist?
Now it's racism.
Jesus fucking Christ.
By using the what's up example.
Well, fucking the Huffington Post is highly fucking left-leaning.
Right.
Jesus.
So he's saying that by using the example of what's up.
How about this? If you assume that what's up is black culture, that means you're the racist dickhead.
That's true. Because
that's
if you,
the real problem.
Because if you're recognizing what's up as a black thing, then you're the one identifying the blacks with that.
So either it's true or you're racist.
Right.
Either way, Gene didn't say nothing wrong. Gene didn't make a racist comment. He said that fucking language sucks.
Right.
If you take that to mean black people, then you're the one saying that black people suck with their fucking speech, you dumb motherfucker.
That's exactly it. For you to identify what's up with black people, you're the one who's identifying that.
That's right. Idiots. God, I hate the fucking human race.
I do too.
Everybody that's younger than me by like 12 to 15 years in this country, bunch of fucking cocknob pussies. All of them are fucking pussies now.
Right.
How did this happen? Is it because they didn't get paddled in school or what?
I don't know what it is.
Because, goddamn, if they're not a bunch of big fucking babies.
Well, I think I know what it is, and we talked about this between you and I about a week ago.
Yeah.
Remember what I was saying to you about a week or so ago that if you go back 25 years when divorce was on the rise and single mothers were raising their sons,
right?
That the sons now assimilate to what their mothers represent rather than a strong male figure in the home.
Yeah.
This is the reason why.
Fucking now they want a skirt-wearing sissy. Don't hurt my baby.
Right.
Don't hurt my feelings.
Right.
Oh, shit. Ugh, fucking idiots.
Sure. All right. Well, getting back to this, there's only a little bit left here.
All right.
So anyway, this Camilleri said that Simmons was referencing the black culture.
Okay.
By
good.
using "what's up"
All right.
as an example.
Okay.
Simmons, in disbelief, said he never said such a thing
Right.
and called Calamari out. Simmons then said a white guy who says, "Yo, how you doing?" in a corporate environment would also not succeed.
Right.
I don't recognize it as black culture, Simmons said, saying Oprah Winfrey and our president represents black culture to him.
Okay.
Black culture to me is aspirational. It's succeeding, recognizing what works and being proud of your culture. English that everyone speaks, he said. Oprah Winfrey and Obama and the most powerful African Americans speak a certain way. In the end, Simmons was forced in his defense of the importance of English. His message could not be dismissed because of charges of racism or natives. And he won over a reluctant and liberal host about how detrimental it is in America if someone cannot speak the dominant language. How about this? If Siri can't understand you, you're in trouble. You can't argue with Siri.
Well, the thing that he says the most that I like is the fact that he took on the fucking typical liberal horseshit of when they're losing their point, they call you a racist and fucking beat them down with it.
Right.
That's the best part of it. You know, he beat them down with their own fucking pathetic argument. And that is the most pathetic argument that every fucking liberal of any education does. No matter who they are, when they're not hearing their way, well, you just don't like fucking the niggers. You don't like the fucking Jews. You're a racist cocksucker. You know, it's like, fuck off.
Well, you know, the thing that I haven't listened to him in a long time, but I used to listen when I could, is Rush Limbaugh.
Okay.
Like him or dislike him for whatever reason. How many times have you heard in the liberal media that his hateful rhetoric?
Oh, yeah.
Hateful
rhetoric, of course.
Hateful. So I guess what Gene Simmons just said there on Huffington Post, I guess that would fall under hateful rhetoric.
Well, the stuff that I don't always get, though, is let's just go with Rush Limbaugh for a minute. If Rush Limbaugh is truly hateful rhetoric, then what is the antithesis of that? What is fucking Chris Matthews? Is he positive rhetoric?
Well, it's only hateful if you disagree.
Well, that's why I'm saying so when Chris Matthews goes after John McCain and just calls him everything under the sun, that's not hateful.
No, he's just speaking fact.
Yeah. It's all about fucking philosophy.
That's
it. And the real problem is that those on the left, for the most part, I don't want to make a fucking fully generalized statement, but the overwhelming majority of lefties fucking they will never actually argue facts that are on a table. You have a discussion with somebody that leans far to the left. Once they start losing the discussion, they go to the fucking race card, they go to the hate card, they go to every other card known to man except the facts that you're presenting.
Well, again, I always say this, and I've said this to people that I work with and people that I've kind of mentored. You can't argue with the facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not how we feel about it.
Yeah, but sadly, they won't argue with the facts. They'll just say that your facts are only true to you because you're a fucking racist. Well, you're a hater.
Yeah,
but you're everything but fucking factually correct.
Yeah, but the thing is that the facts should be able to be altered with how you feel about it.
No, they shouldn't.
But that's their point, though, because, well, you see, you're hurting my feelings about this by spouting facts.
Yeah.
So now you're the mean bully because you threw facts in there, and I know what the truth is. Yeah. But that hurts my feelings that the truth is that way. So now you're a bully.
Yep. Okay. Fine. I'm at this point anymore. And you know me, dude. I like to get in there and mix it up with people. on Facebook and whatever about politics and whatnot. At this point, I've been called everything that I can be called so much that none of it matters. You want to call me a racist? Fine. You want to call me a pedophile? Fine. You want to call me a fucking pick a word? I don't give a fuck. I honestly don't give a fuck. Because at this point, you've desensitized all of it.
Right.
Anytime you use it in a fucking rational conversation because you're losing, you fucking desensitize it. If I don't say a word about a black guy, and if I start bagging on Obama for Obamacare, and that's a common one, and I start saying, well, these are the facts, this is my state was 70% against, the fucking senators voted for it anyway, so they're treasonous, that's kind of my take. When I say that, well, if he wasn't a black guy, you'd be fucking for it. No, I kind of wouldn't. If he was a fucking white cracker, as cracker white as he could be, I'd still be against it because it's a fucking terrible policy.
Right. I was against it when Hillary Clinton was pushing it back in the 90s.
I was against it when I heard about it from Romney.
Right.
And he's fucking allegedly in my party, even though I don't claim a party. Because I don't like Obama, that automatically makes me a right-winger.
Exactly.
But, I think that it was a fucking terrible policy when Romney put it in what was that, Massachusetts?
Massachusetts, right.
Yeah, it's a terrible policy there, too.
Right.
It's a terrible fucking policy. Doesn't mean I hate black people. I hate dumb policies.
Right.
Fuck you.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Now, when I figured about the Gene Simmons racism deal, Gene, he deserves credit. Not just for the interview where he basically, everything he said was basically true, but also he's one guy who basically he racially dog whistled, and he was able to actually come right out and kind of argue his way out of it. He did the what's up thing, which, everybody says that anymore, but to somebody Gene's age, it represents black culture.
Oh, come on. See, now you're interjecting that because when I heard what's up, I didn't automatically imagine black person. I just imagined some people who don't want to speak properly in a business environment. That's how it struck me personally, but I don't think for Gene in his age group said automatically black person.
Okay, well, look at it this way. A couple of years ago, there was a third-tier Limbaugh clone who got into something very similar, talking about something like inner-city violence, and he said the phrase, urban thugs, yo.
Okay.
And, of course, there's a backlash. Oh, whatever his name is. I can't even remember who the fuck it was. This is a racist. But, of course, he's a fucking 70-year-old guy.
Yeah, but it's the people who assign racism to a comment. They're the ones who are being the racist because they recognize that speech as being predominant in a certain community, I guess.
And we assume that the person that threw it out there didn't know what he was doing?
No, I'm just saying that the people who pointed out...
How about, hold on. Even, I'm going to play your game, Doghouse. Let's just go for the sake of argument. Let's just say Gene did mean black people. Okay? So Gene's comment, I'm gonna change the wording a little bit and make sure I'm not wrong with what he just said. In your eyes, what Gene said is black people that say "what's up" in a business environment are not going to succeed. Is that what you're saying he said?
It could be.
Okay. How is that racist versus being 100% right? It's not racist. It's right. Because if a black guy walks into a fucking business, hold on. If a black guy walks into a business meeting and he's talking like a fucking street level thug, he's not gonna do well in business. That is correct.
Yes, that is correct.
So he's still right and not racist.
And like I said at the start of the call, Gene actually was able to defend himself against the cries of racism, unlike a lot of people who just sort of let it go and let everybody talk about it.
Yeah, but see, this is the reason we brought this up on the show, or at least I wanted to talk about it, because this week Gene Simmons is my hero as a high-profile person in the media, finally stepping up to the plate and not backing down from his comments and go, "Oh, I'm really sorry about that. I shouldn't have said that. That was very insensitive of me, and I really feel for people who can't seem to grasp the English language, because I realize there's certain capabilities people have and other people don't have it, and I didn't mean to be not to be inclusive of everyone, and I'm really sorry about that, and just please forgive me. Now buy my KISS tickets."
And my book.
Exactly. But he didn't do that. Well, he was just saying, you know what? Fuck you. That's my opinion. Like it or not, it's how I'm sticking with it.
Well, yeah, and he handled himself better than most people who do this sort of thing for a living. You know, most people who make their living as pundits and commentators wouldn't be able to do what Gene just did.
And on top of that, and this goes back to something that Chris and I always talk about, the reason we are able to tackle subjects like this is because we're not corporately funded, and neither is Gene Simmons.
Sure.
Nobody's going to fire Gene Simmons. He's his own guy.
And since you don't have any advertisers, the advertisers can't quit.
Right.
But at the same time, there is such a thing as racial dog whistling, and you don't have to say nigger, nigger, nigger to, for everybody to know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, but the thing is that those people who recognize, see, this is my point, Doghouse, and I know I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that the people who you're saying recognize the dog whistle, aren't they the racist by assimilating with what you're saying as being attributed to a certain culture or community or sect of the community?
Okay, yeah, and to his credit, Gene chose "What's Up," which is basically passed into the lexicon at this point. He chose something that is pretty white bread at this point.
But why couldn't Gene say something? Why would it be wrong if Gene said black guys that come into a boardroom with their pants down around their ass are not going to be successful? Why is that racist? Why isn't that just fact?
Well, because he's only singling out.
Well, maybe that's the only point he wanted to make.
So, see, the discussion suddenly stops being about people and it starts being about black people.
But so what? Why? See, you're playing into the fucking political correct stereotype that everybody has to be happy, that everybody has to be treated equal, that everybody has to be accommodated for. No, they don't. You can say black dude, pants around his ass, looks like a fucking asshole, and that doesn't make you a racist. That just makes you correct. You can say white dude that has a big fucking stupid mohawk looks like a fucking dick. And you know what? That doesn't make you a racist either. It just makes you correct. But everybody wants to spread it all out around everybody. So what if a black guy has a mohawk? Blah, 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 blah. What if a fucking Jewish guy has his pants around his ass? Fuck off. That's not the point I was trying to make. The point I was trying to make is black dudes look like dickheads with their pants around their ankles. And guess what? When I see a white dude doing it, when I see the white culture adapting to it, I'll call them out too. But right now they haven't.
Guess what?
So that's who fucking gets it.
Yeah, and guess what? But you didn't say white guys with their pants around their ass. You said black guys. So suddenly
I didn't have to say it because I don't see that. That's the whole point. You do not see neighborhoods full of white kids with their pants around their ass. You see neighborhoods of black kids doing it. So my point is not racist. My point is factual. My point is 100% factual. And if all of a sudden fucking Monterey, California, and wherever else is white bread, fucking Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah, starts having every kid in their fucking city with their pants around their ass, then the white kids with their pants around their ass is a discussion. But until that happens, it stays with the source, and the source is black kids. And that's not racist to say it.
Well, it's part of the formerly
It's
only
not
black
racist
culture, but
to
it's
say
been
it.
co-opted by white kids.
Okay.
And it's called New Jersey, by the way.
Yeah, okay. But until that becomes as mainstream as it is in the ghetto cities, then it's not the fucking issue. That's always the point, is everybody wants everybody to consider everybody into one fucking group. Everybody has to dress the same. Everybody has to look the same. Everybody has to speak the same. No, they don't. If you start telling Muslims that they got to speak English, it's a fucking race war in the media. Yet everybody wants the Muslims to speak English. Let's be real. Let's be honest here. Nobody likes fucking calling their tech support and dealing with Abu, the fucking Indian raghead fuckface. Everybody wants to be able to call fucking their tech support place and be able to conversate with the person that they're speaking to. But God forbid you actually say Indians are fucking terrible customer service people, because that all of a sudden makes you a fucking dirty racist. And that's bullshit, man.
Except that it was actually the theme of a pretty popular TV commercial just recently.
Of course, but in the biggest picture, if somebody went around campaigning, if fucking next election somebody went around campaigning saying that they're going to campaign on the back of all American business will have fucking proper English-speaking tech support people, this country would flip the fuck over in hatred. All of it would be on MSNBC and CNN, and they would lose their fucking mind.
If the candidate did it right. If the candidate did it without sounding like a fucking ignorant hilljack.
But why can't he just say, we don't want fucking Indians that can't speak English on the phone? Why can't he say that? Why is that racist? That's not racist. It's fact. No one wants to deal with a fucking Indian guy on a phone that can't speak English. Now, admittedly, nobody wants to deal with a black dude or a white dude or a fucking Chinese dude that can't speak English either. But ultimately, you should be able to point, you should be able to profile, and you should be able to say that fucking group of people, by and large, are fucking it up. And not be treated like a racist. Be treated like, okay, that's a fair point. And if you want to counter with, well, what about this race? Then that should be an appropriate counter as well, without it being a fucking racist discussion on either fucking side.
Well, as for the tech support argument, yeah, the Indians are fucking it up, but guess who's paying them?
Yeah, well, but that's a different argument.
Guess who's paying them? Our noble job creators that were supposed to be sucking their dicks.
But that's a different argument entirely.
True.
The argument of being allowed, and I hate to say allowed, it's supposed to be free fucking speech. But God forbid, if you exercise your free speech, yeah, you can't go to jail for it, allegedly, but you can be fucking lose your job, lose your livelihood, lose everything, to where you can't fucking actually have a real discussion about real issues. When's the last time you watched the news and you saw a story where they actually said 2 black kids robbed a fucking store? If it's 2 white guys, they will tell you that they were white, 5'8", 185 pounds. If it's 2 black kids, they'll say it was 2 kids with curly hair and dark complexion. They'll never say the fucking race, because everybody sucks the fucking cock of fucking racism.
Dude, the races get named all the time around here.
Not here. How about where you're at, Neely?
Nope. They always just say 2 youths about this age.
Well, I gotta say, just where I live, they always get named. Well, so, that's the sort of podunk Crackerville I live in.
Yes.
I'm surprised you even have phone service down there to call the CMS.
I'm calling you from the last payphone existing in the world. No. Hold on, I gotta put another quarter in.
Please, Mrs.
Oh,
Avery.
shit, I don't have another quarter. Fuck you, pal.
Right. Are you all wound up, Mr. Aiken?
This race shit fucking makes me crazy, as you're well.
I would agree, man. I'm telling you, I agree with you.
I'm so tired, and I don't care. I'll argue that point for 900 motherfucking years. It's not racist to make a statement about a race, as long as you're willing to have an open discussion about it. You know, if I come out and say, I see, the thing that I was making, the comparison I was just making about the kids with their pants around their ass.
Right.
If you want to fire back and say, well, the city with the most kids around with their pants like that are fucking, whatever, Salt Lake City, and that's 92% white or whatever.
Sure.
So really, it's white kids playing that game. Okay, well now we're making a fair discussion.
Right.
And neither side is racist.
No, it's just you're just discussing facts.
Yeah. And that's the way it should be handled. If there's truth, then there's truth. Now, the only in my world, and maybe I'm dead wrong on this, but the only time anything at all is racist is when you make blanket statements. All black people are lazy. All Chinese people have small dicks. All fucking Jewish people are cheap. Whatever. Whichever one you want to pick. When you make those kind of statements, you're being racist and stupid.
I would agree.
Because it's as easy as me finding one fucking hardworking black guy or one Jewish guy with a Ferrari to fucking prove your point wrong.
Exactly. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hail and kill. It's Leonard again. Yes, I know I'm not supposed to call. But that's how it is here, too. It's a certain race that does all the fucking bullshit. And they won't say, yeah, there was a dark brown guy doing this. There was a young man with wearing a jean jacket and jeans every time. Same thing.
I'm not following that at all. Well, you're gonna have to elaborate a little bit.
All right, it's always fucking Indians here. Hate to say it.
I would have never gathered that from what you just said.
Exactly.
So go ahead.
On the news.
All right.
But on the news, it's never, it was a dirty fucking Indian again.
They're not going to just come out and say it was a dirty fucking Indian again.
Yes, but they should say.
But if they came out and said that this crime was committed by an Indian and 83% of our crime in this city are caused by Indians or Indian immigrants or whatever, that's not racist at all. That's not racist.
Well,
it's just factual.
I agree with you, Chris. But here, they think it is.
Well, that's because people are afraid that they're going to be called out as being racist if they spout the facts.
True enough. But enough of the bullshit. Let's just fucking call a spade a spade.
Now, isn't that a racist term?
Absolutely. Dirty niggers. But,
Jeez.
Seriously, though, it's horseshit. In Saskatchewan, 95% of the prisons are full of Indians.
All right. Is that a fact,
Okay.
or are you just making that up?
Absolute fucking fact.
95%.
Absolutely. And my ex, she taught at an Indian school. And she was always, we got to do this and this. It's different. Well, why is it different? Are we not all humans? But they got to teach them different for some reason. And it just never made sense to me. Are we not humans?
You think?
Oh, we got to do it this way for them because they're brown. It's different. How the fuck is it different?
It's not different. It shouldn't be different.
Thank you, Chris. Because it always pissed me off. That was one of our big arguments.
You ever see The Godfather 2?
Absolutely.
You know this. You know when Vito Corleone is coming over, and they have that whole scene, and he doesn't speak any fucking English, and they're separating the people, that speak English versus don't speak English, and they just slap the name Vito Corleone on him. Remember that shit?
A little bit.
That's the methodology that we need to have today, where you either fucking know it or you don't. And if you don't, you get pushed the fuck aside. And that's the way it should be. We don't need to treat anybody different. We don't need to give anybody their own set of rules. We shouldn't give anybody their own set of rules. Look at what that does. Look at what that does to society as a whole. And I don't care what country you live into. Whatever country you're living in, if you're having separate rules for separate people, you have a fucked up problem with those people.
Absolutely. What does it do? It creates more racism.
Yeah.
Like the Indians around here get to have casinos. Awesome. But in their establishments, you can smoke. Well, in every other establishment, be it a restaurant, a bar, whatever, you have to go outside to smoke. Well, that gives an unfair advantage to one part of the race. Well, we're all fucking humans, so why should there be any distinction in that?
There shouldn't be, but the government plays into it because they're a bunch of fucking cowards, too.
Exactly. All right. Hail and kill. Fuck you, pal. Hand job!